I'm jumping off, is this a needed suicide? I hope my parachute don't let me down. I hope I get to fly. I don't know why I feel like I gotta die to be alive. I don't know why it feel like people are standing still with no desire. I'm on a wire, wobbling back and forth, the balance clown. I won't be happy if I'm not moving forward, then send me down. My vibration for eternity will continue to come around. So I gotta do this right, I gotta live, I gotta...
What's up, everybody? Lockoutmen back again with another one for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support that you guys give to this channel. Now, I will be going back live with my guests. Right now, I'm just doing some things, trying to, work in and work out. I thought I had it together, but unfortunately, Zoom threw me a curveball. So I might be going back to StreamYard solely for the for you guys live. I'm thinking. I'm still working it out, I guess. Welcome to the Lockoutmen podcast show, where we park and politic with all our guests over here. Of course, you know who I am, Lockoutmen. And today's special guest is Jerri Jarvis.
You can practice, man.
Jerri Jarvis. Thank you very much for coming over and talking with us tonight, man. I really do appreciate it. With everything that's going on in the trucking world, before we get into your background, you mentioned in the green room that the company that you drive for, you also work safety in there, right? So when new drivers come in and you guys look at them to bring them on, being part of the safety, what do you guys are looking for as far as approving the new potential drivers?
I think we look for a lot of what most companies look for, right? We want to make sure that you're safe. So we look at your any accident history you might have. We take a look at your work history. Are you moving around from company to company? Or are you looking for a place to find home? And we have a lot of drivers, even company or owner operators that come to us to retire with us. So we're looking for some of those same things. Are you driven? Are you just trying to hang out and lay back and not really be a part of the team? So I think with every company, they're looking for members who want to be a team player.
So do you guys, now I'm sure that you guys check for PSP, but do you guys check the DAC as well or no?
Yes, I think that's pretty common across the board.
All right, so on the DAC report, let's just say, for example, a driver have a couple of skirmishes on their DAC report. If some of the stuff that are skirmishes that can be explained, would you guys still give that potential driver a chance?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, during the interview process, they definitely talk about those things. And even our recruiters do a really great job of kind of working through that process and vetting those things out. And they will come to the safety departments. And I mean, my lane is as the analyst, but the driver manager and the two driver managers, they tend to have a lot of rapport with those recruiters. So it's a very tight knit situation that goes on in that safety and recruiting office.
Nice.
So it's not a no automatically. It's a, well, maybe there's an explanation kind of thing. So
now, as a safety analyst, tell us a little bit about that. I mean, what do you do per day?
Well, we have about 320 drivers in our fleet right now. My main job is to keep them out of trouble. So I'm checking for unassigned logs. I'm checking on their violations. I'm making sure their exemption usage is correct. And I do a lot of guidance with the fueling and idling program. I mean, my position is actually pretty brand new. They created it about 13 months ago. I've been in the position for about 12 and a half months. Okay. So I've basically built it from the bottom up. And So a lot of fueling and idling, and we have forward facing dash cams. We don't do anything in cab. So it's my job to make sure all of those things are communicating and online and good adjustments so that we can exonerate that driver. Because we all have those folks that love to run up on us and get in front of us and slam on the brakes, right?
Exactly.
So we want to see all of that coming. And the cameras are the best way for us to be able to exonerate. So those are the biggest parts of my job that I take very seriously, especially making sure a driver is ready for an audit at any given moment.
Now, as you mentioned about the laws, what is the most important thing that you guys look for as far as making sure their laws is valid?
The first thing I'm looking for is to see if they have verified their previous workday. The last thing I need them to do is get pulled over and have a failed inspection because they didn't certify a log. That's a given, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I'm looking for is if there's a violation, I want to know, or I'll go into the logs and I'll take a look. Is it because they missed something? Did they just not hit a button? Are they in violation because they're doing a split, but they forgot to use sleeper berth and they were on duty, and we can make that adjustment. So that'll clear the violation. So there's a few different things that we're looking for. I do not do anything that FMCSA doesn't say is legal. I will not. Even if a driver takes off 2 seconds early, sorry, man, you better pull over because you're in trouble right now. I'm not covering for you.
So in other words, you can't change the drive time pretty much.
No.
All right.
No.
Yeah. I'll even open
up the maps, right? I'm looking for your drive line. You tell me, well, my truck didn't move. Really, it's moving 3 miles an hour. I'm sorry.
Wow. So what equipment that you guys use for the logs?
The ELD provider?
Yeah.
We are with Geotab.
Oh, okay. So y'all don't do Samsara.
Yes, they are our dash cam provider.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
I manage a couple of different systems every day.
Okay. Now, as far as you guys, what's you guys' standpoint on PC?
Well, when I use that exemption, I'm taking it straight from the FMCSA Bible, if you will. So every company gets to dictate the amount of PC they want to allow to the company. So we have our allotment that we give to the drivers. When I'm auditing that personal conveyance use, if it's being used to advance a load in any certain way, that driver and I are having a conversation. Because again, if I'm looking at your log and I'm auditing that, and then an auditor or a DOT officer looks at that and they're saying, oh, you've advanced a load, I've not done my job keeping them out of trouble. Now have I? So I take that very seriously as far as, are you using this correctly, and making sure it's an ongoing training and communication, and it's a two-way street, right? If they have questions, they call me. There's no question about that.
All right. So all together, this is everything according to safety with the company where you at. Jerri, now I know this is life before trucking, and it's about you. But would you like to promote the company where you at so that drivers that might be interested, because we can also turn this into an MTC call as well. But if you like, would you like to promote the company where you at?
Sure. Yeah, I work for Cheeseman Transportation out of Fort Recovery, Ohio. We actually have terminals across the U.S. We work very closely with customers, and we have drop yards that we even have guys that are stationed out of Dallas, Texas, Illinois, Pennsylvania, like all over. So if you go to the website, I actually have a video that we use because we're really trying to promote bringing women into our workforce. We have 6 women out of that 320, and it's definitely an untapped. And I've been working really hard with my supervisor. She's the vice president of HR and safety, and one of the things we're trying to do is figure out how do we reach the women of the industry, because I'm telling you, the company I worked at before, I did not make nearly the amount of money or have nearly the amount of support that I have from this company that I'm at now. So I think it's a great opportunity for sure.
So the company name is Cheeseman?
Cheeseman.
Jeez, man. You know what? I heard. As a matter of fact, I was gonna do a Make the Call series featuring you guys. I really was. One of my subscribers requested me to give you guys a call. So since I don't have to actually blind call, I'm going to go ahead and put this out there to you right now.
I got you.
have one of your recruiters to link up with me, and we can we could do a MTC call live on Zoom, and I can feature Cheese Man. So definitely have them to give me a call. Just give the recruiter the phone number, and if they're not afraid to come on camera and talk about what the company has to offer. Me back. I'm just saying. Oh, okay.
I help with some recruiting from time to time. So
okay,
whatever.
If you come back, that'll work too. So, all right. So life before trucking, man. So give me a little bit of history about yourself.
Well, I got my first degree in 1997, the year after I graduated high school. Got married, had kids. That's that. Got my bachelor's degree when I turned 32 from Indiana University East out of Richmond, Indiana. So I do have a bachelor's in humanities and a Latino certificate.
Okay.
And then I got into emergency management back in 2014. And I worked my way into some different positions that I held at IU East there in Richmond, and eventually became emergency management liaison. And I moved into IUPUI, became a continuity coordinator. From there, I went to work for the Red Cross, where I was a disaster program specialist. I did a lot of volunteer work. I love response and recovery. It is really what makes me tick in this world. And then my dad died. So I had a lot of people depending on me. I had a lot of volunteers in the 13 county area, and I could no longer give them what they needed because my world fell apart when I lost my dad.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I love him. He was my rock, but he taught me a lot of life lessons that I still carry with me to this day. And so once he died, I basically fell apart. I moved to Kentucky for a couple years, down around the Corbin area. That's where his family was from. So all of that time I spent in emergency management, just kind of went and sat on the shelf for a while. And then I had a guy tell me that I was not smart enough to drive a truck. Which I decided that I needed to show him a little bit differently.
So that was the reason why you seeked the career in trucking because of that tale. Yeah.
Well, he was an owner operator, so I knew that there was a financial stability that came along with that. Well, I mean, I made good money when I worked at emergency management, and I loved what I did. But when he told me that, I'm like, you know what? In my mind, I'm thinking I need to get back to Indiana, but I had no money because I wasn't allowed to work while I was there. I had nothing really. So I got my CDL, and I did work there in London, Kentucky, out of a terminal out of London for about 90 days. I made it about 90 days with my first company. It was excruciating, but I had a goal. And I am all about perseverance and hitting a goal once you have set it. I made that 90 days, and literally within 2 days, I was giving them my 2 weeks notice to come to work for Cheeseman.
So
my brother already worked for
so the
Cheeseman.
90
we worked
so the 90 days. What was how long have you had your license?
2.5 years.
All right. So the 90 days with the first company that you went, what was so excruciating about it?
Well, I was a brand new driver. I did not have a lot of support. I didn't have the training I felt like I needed as a new driver. So basically I graduated and they stuck me in a truck. There you go. Figure it out. Wow. So trying to dock some days, especially, having questions and not a full understanding. I mean, we all know when you get your CDL, it's just, get you through as quick as you can, teach you how to pass the test, and then you just figure the rest out as you go. Mm-hmm. So I was determined. So, failure was not an option. But between the frustration of that, not having direct contact to dispatch, or if you would try to call, you didn't get a person on the phone, which is what I love about our company. You get a direct person, like somebody's going to answer your questions or get you to the person that can, right? And then the money aspect. I mean, I was a regional driver on the road 5 to 6 days a week, and I was lucky if I was bringing home $500. I'm like, this is not what I
Wow.
signed up for.
Wow. So you jump from that. What was the what would you, after you jump from that company, what would you was looking for in the next company that you're at right now?
I was looking for trust, support, and some sort of a financial stability. Even if I was not going to make like thousands and thousands of dollars, I really didn't care. I just needed continuity. I needed to know what I could depend on every week, or what that bare minimum was that I could rely on. Because, at this point, I have to live on a budget, right? So
Exactly.
help me figure it out. So those were the biggest things I was looking for. And like I said, my brother was already working for this company, and we were comparing notes on a daily basis. And I'm like, this is crazy.
All right.
So, yeah,
So
I made the jump.
so tell me what motivates you about trucking, and what frustrates you about trucking?
What motivates me? Definitely the safety aspect. And I think that has a lot to do with my previous experience coming out of the response and recovery. So, safety, and it's everybody's responsibility, not just the driver behind the wheel, right? You have to have a support system behind you, helping you with safe equipment, making sure if you're reporting that you're getting those things fixed and all of those things. The thing that frustrates me the most about trucking is having, this is going to sound really horrible and I'm really sorry, but it has been my experience. But there are still those older drivers that are out there with the, the good old boy mentality, who feel like there's no room for women in trucking. And, I've had personal experiences in that regard, and it infuriates me, because we work hard too. We deserve to be here.
Now,
If we deserve to be here, we wouldn't have the job.
now we did talk a little bit about you saying that you kind of wish that there's more females in the trucking world, but you said you had experience with one of those quote unquote good old boys. What happened?
Okay, so I showed up for a delivery. At this point, I don't even remember where it was at. I've slept since then, but I remember the place didn't open till 8. And and my appointment was at 8:00. So I usually show up anywhere from 45 to 30 minutes early. So I'm sitting at this gate at 7:30. I'm the first one there. There's nobody behind me. At 10 till, there's another truck and trailer, but it's like a hot shot, like truck and trailer, like the dually,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So he pulls in behind me, and the doors open at 8:00. I jump down out of the cab and I go inside. The dude practically runs to the door. He gets checked in. I had already talked to somebody beforehand. They knew that I was there. They told me, come back in at 8:00, blah, 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 whatever. Well, again, I'm sitting at this gate. They let this guy come in around me, and there was no dock anyway. You had to be loaded and unloaded from the strip that they had you park on. But this guy pulls in front of me, and then I finally get to go in the gate and go around, and I'm waiting and waiting, and they decide they're going to load this guy first. I have one skid. One skid is all I need to pull off my trailer. And the guy that comes, he finally finishes. We're like 30 minutes in at this point. So he finally starts down the side of the trailer with his forklift, and I jumped down out of the cab, and he looked at me. He's like, "What's your problem?" I was like, really? What's my problem? I'm like, is it because I'm a girl? Like, you decided that you wanted to handle this guy first? He goes, well, you guys usually don't get upset. And I looked at him, I was like, who? We as in women, or we as in drivers? He goes, no, the women, they usually don't care. I said, well, let me tell you something. My clock is ticking just like that dude in front of me. And guess what? I was here first. So he's like, well, you're not even in the dock. I'm like, you don't have a dock. Just give me the freaking pallet jack so I can bring this thing to the back of my truck. Oh, I was so mad, so mad. And he
Wow.
walked as he was driving away. Another one of his coworkers came around and he's like, "Yeah, crazy ass women." And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say that. My
No,
bad."
you're good. You're
But
good.
anyway, the guy was like, "Man, you just got to ignore him. He apparently didn't get any last night." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
It's like that time.
Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad. Yeah, you
Wow.
guys get upset. I'm like, what do you mean?
So for there's another issue for women out here in trucking, and being that you're in the safety department, maybe you can put your little spin on it. But late, as of late, there's been a number of ladies, female drivers, that have been assaulted by their trainers. What do you have to say about that?
I think that if you are working for a company that is putting you into that position, you definitely need to get out of it, period. I had male trainers. Matter of fact, when I started with Cheeseman, we have an apprentice program for newer drivers. But because I didn't have 6 months, I had to do a portion of that apprentice program for insurance purposes, which was fine. But all of my trainers were guys. But from the very beginning, they let it be known if at any point I felt uncomfortable, I had a direct line to the driver manager. So if you do not have a company that has said to you, "Hey, this is the lay of the land," right? This is the expectation. There is zero tolerance for any of this. And if you don't feel like you have a direct line 24/7, if you're in a bad place or you feel like there's an advance being made towards you, then you need to get out, because that is not a company that really cares about you as a driver or your safety as a woman.
I got you. I got you. Now as you being a driver like for 2 years, do you know how many miles that you put down so far?
No, I will tell you though, when I came to Cheeseman, I was averaging close to 2,000 a week.
Oh, okay, okay. Now as the drive as you progressing in your driving and everything, and now that you got comfortable with it, what makes trucking worth it to you?
So I have a family. Well, I have grown kids, but they're still kids, right? And they're working on having families of their own. And I have two nieces that are basically daughters to me. Matter of fact, I lived with them up until January of this year. And what makes it worth it is the fact that when they have big things that are happening, like right now, my oldest niece, she's finishing up school. She's in her student teaching. She doesn't have an income. I'm making it happen for her. I'm making sure the bills are paid. They've got food on the table. Things are happening. If I was not in the position that I'm in, or if I had not gotten into the industry, I would never have been able to be in that position, because I was always living and budgeting as if, I was paycheck to paycheck. So I still budget. Last year alone, I paid thousands of dollars in debt. Plug for Dave Ramsey. He's awesome. And I followed his plan to a T. So I've been working really hard at following his plan, but I would not be able to do any of those things had I not gotten into trucking.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, Jarvis, thank you very much for coming on tonight and sharing your experience and everything. Let me ask you this: why are truck drivers so angry?
Why are they angry? Well, I guess because they haven't found the happy place. Because, when you get into the industry, even if you don't have it, you need patience, right? We know there's going to be delays. We know there's going to be traffic. So what you have to figure out is, what is your happy place in those moments when you have zero control over what's going on around you? Where's your happy place? For me, it's turning on worship music. I don't care where I'm at. I'm just in my happy place. I can't control it, so might as well roll with it.
So that's how you keep that's how you keep yourself from not getting depressed or anything like that being out here.
Yep. Yeah.
Find your happy place.
And I think at the end of the day, one of the wind down things I did, I told you, I carried those cards, those thank you cards. So, at the end of the day, the best way to get a blessing is be a blessing, right?
Exactly.
So if I'm blessing someone with words of encouragement, because those dock guys, they're under a lot of stress. I mean, think about the number of drivers coming in and off their dock, and they may not all be as pleasant as I am.
I got
so that's part of the reason why when I go back, they're like, oh yeah, I got your card. Thank you so much. So guess what? That means that the service I'm receiving is quicker and faster. And I even have guys that some places I go to, they started blocking or helping me block my lifts in because they're like, hey, yeah, let's get you out of here. Or, I called ahead one day when I was headed to Wisconsin and I was running real low on time. I said, man, I've got to be in and out of there. And I have to have, it was a hard dock. I docked it. I got in there. They did what they had to do. I was out in less than 10. So, I mean, it helps, right?
All right. That's what's up. Well, hey, Jerri Jarvis, everybody, once again. So thank you very much. Hey, I'm serious. Let's do an MTC. I want to do it like probably like one day next week or something like that around this time again after 6:00, and we could just sorely talk about the company, what you guys looking for, pretty much promote the company. And that's that's what I do.
Like I'm saying.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah. When I get in the office, that's exciting.
All right, that'll work. I will definitely be looking forward to it, because like I said, Cheese Man is on the list to be called. But now that I actually know somebody there, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get into the brass tacks of Cheese Man Inc. out of Ohio. So guys, definitely look for that MTC call right there.
And we have a YouTube video of me promoting the company too. So, I mean, I can get you that link if you want to connect it.
As well. That's what's up. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for the Lockoutmen podcast show for this evening. I really do appreciate you guys being here. If you like content like this and more, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell and that all button, and make sure you just like the video. If you guys like content, or if y'all like to come on and share, or y'all like to promote, or whatever y'all like to do with the Lockoutmen, get at me at Instagram. You see, I have to look up so I can think about it. Get at me at Instagram and hit me up in the DM over at Instagram, and I'll be able to get you on. Or you can hit me up in the Gmail. That's lockoutmenpodcast@gmail.com. And we will get you on, and we'll talk about the brass tacks of the company, or your life, or your stories that you have. Special thanks to Jarvis. I'm just calling her Jarvis, even though her name is Jerri.
I got you. Like I said, I call myself Jarvis. You're fine. You're fine.
To my special guest, Jarvis, for being here with us tonight. Until next time, everybody, come back again for another episode of the Lockoutmen podcast. I will talk to you in another video. Peace.
This show, yeah, get it in. Yeah. Party over here, get it in. Yeah. She like a liquor clear, get it in. Yeah. She get it from a deal, get it in. Yeah. Make it disappear, get it in. Yeah. Park it in the rear, get it in. Yeah. Now make it reappear, get it in. Yeah. Freak it with no fear, get it in. Yeah. Pop it in the clutch, girl, get it in. Yeah. Jump on it, double dutch, girl, get it in. Yeah. Drop it, double clutch, girl, get it in. Yeah. Pump it up, butt lift, now downshift.